Rishav is a busy guy on the phone, so
Sorry, guys.
it's okay, man. One of those guys in the podcast could be that one watching the phone. That's good.
I don't want to do that one.
Hi, welcome to ShuttleTales, the podcast where we go beyond the court into the stories of players and coaches shaping the world of badminton. Today we have two badminton players who are also coaches at the same time. First, we have Rishav Sharma, who founded several badminton clubs in BC and Alberta region. He spends most of his time coaching and building the badminton community. He also competes both local and international Para-Badminton tournaments. His recent tournament, he played in Japan Para-Badminton, where he won the bronze medal in men's doubles. As for our second guest, we have Terry Downton. He's the head of several badminton associations in Western Canada. He actively competes in Canadian Masters tournaments, where he won several championships. Too much of me talking. Let's just smash into it.
So how are you guys doing?
Doing well.
Doing well. Wait, how was your move though? We haven't really. I don't think we ever actually talk off the court. I mean, I know you guys talk to each other while driving to Airdrie. But yeah, off the court, I think we never really had to go out or anything after.
We should be.
I think, yeah, that's probably, but you guys drive far. If you do Wednesday after 9 to go out and get something,
Yeah.
but it's just late for you guys to go there. But it's fun. But it'll be fun to do something like that. So how was the China trip?
It was amazing, buddy. Like, very good. Badminton is completely different over there. Like, for them, it's just big sport. 18,000 tickets sold out for the finals.
That was good.
Can't imagine, like, and the price was, I'm pretty sure it was over, like, it depends on the seating, but
Yeah.
the regular was 50 to 60 US dollars, so it wasn't cheap. And then for the VIP or stuff, and they
Yeah.
had, like, there was a couple, like, old, I would say 50, 60 plus, like, full fancy rich Chinese, and sitting
Oh,
in the
man.
in the VIP podium, and they probably booked they bought the whole week
whole-
pass. I was like, that's a life.
That was good. But no, did you was it like really good watching difference? How was the feeling like?
It is a different, yes, totally. You can like in TV, I was thinking like the angles and stuff.
Yeah.
But in actual, we see it's the speed seems speed. It is actually fast. Like I watched it double, and it was just eyes back and forth over there.
Oh my god, man.
Because yeah, in TV we were only watching it from like one side and just over there. But
Yeah.
if you're sitting in the middle of the court from
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
side, you see the shuttle is just non-stop.
I think that, yeah, angles is a big difference that I notice whenever I watch a real like live game versus on the TV, because you think, oh, the depth perception is the one that's missing. Like when you watch on the videos, like when you're on the real, like you see, oh, you look like you cleared it midway, but it's actually at the far back and they're still smashing. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's crazy, and it even gives you goosebumps on it, like.
And
to
when
watch.
you're live,
Yeah.
the quality of the net play, you see the
Yeah.
spins and how tight it is.
Yeah.
And it's tough when you're out in the stands, it's tough. You just see, well, it's a net shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're standing courtside, it's like, it's right there.
Like, and then you can see those random like net kills and saving those net
kills.
I saw Anderson, he saved like in just against the Chinese guy 3-4 net kills. He just attacked back or defense back.
Yeah, I think that's the momentum at that point. They just like get it, and even if you're watching it, and if you're a player, man, you would not want to sit on the chair. I'm like, how the hell did you just get that back? It's like even when you're watching live, like on the TV, it makes like so much difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the
They're so
beauty.
committed on the net kill, and then when it comes back, you're
Yeah.
in trouble.
Yeah.
I think I heard, like, I don't know, probably just from watching some other videos, or like how the Chinese training is. It's a bit different. They're just mainly for the mixed doubles. Like I heard, you always have to keep it down. Like that is the biggest thing they train on, like for the female. So it's not about how, like, finishing the point. It's just you putting it every single shot down, like below the net, below the net, below the net, and the person in the back, his job is to like put it down.
Yeah. Because like in doubles mostly, the only thing they want to avoid is just kind of to smash, like
Yeah.
the hard, good smash, right?
Yeah.
Just try to keep it low. But mostly in men's doubles, if they're like lifting, they might just keep lifting, let it.
I feel like that's one of the strategies that I heard. Like, it's just you save your energy by lifting. If you have a really strong defense,
Yeah.
you'll just reset the game by like mainly if you're the person that's attacking like almost like 5 shots and you couldn't have succeed. It's like clear it, cut back to defense,
Yeah.
and see if you have some luck in there. But no, how is the starting the club, man?
Club starting, I like Calgary club.
No, the Rocky View and
The Rocky View.
Like yours.
Yeah, like last year I moved to Calgary October,
yeah.
and then wanted to start badminton lessons and stuff, and so I reached out to like a couple of facilities and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Airdrie, and there was not like actual badminton for kids, so I started
Yeah.
the Rocky View Badminton Academy. It was good response. I did November to December, so got about 25 kids, and then start again in January. And then at the same time, I was working at Cochrane.
Oh, yeah.
There was no badminton in Cochrane, so I reached out to the Cochrane facilities and started up there. And then same in Carstairs. It's only about 30 minutes from Airdrie.
Yeah.
There's nothing in Carstairs. It's 6,000 people, so I
Yeah.
started there. It was did a partnership with the town of Carstairs.
Yeah.
So we made a deal, and they hired me to run the program. So I was doing the program in
Good dude, man. Like for real. Like, where's all this passion coming from? Like, what's it? What's the behind? Come on, we want to know.
It's just like love for sport, and
Yeah.
and like my thing is like if I know I can deliver some knowledge or experience,
Yeah.
and I like I'm coming from a small town. I always have like a more attachment with the small communities.
Yeah.
So I just always wanted to deliver more productivity in the small communities where they don't have to travel to get something.
Yeah, I think that's part of everything
Yeah.
happening around actually. I think, and also the badminton. I mean, Terry, even like for you, like when you started it, was there like a big community for badminton or?
Yeah, small town Saskatchewan, and just a phys ed teacher offered a badminton program,
Yeah.
similar to what Rishav's doing, is
Yeah.
give kids an opportunity to play.
Yeah.
So it just invites kids into the gym, and so that's kind of where things started. And then once you get into university, there was obviously other players to play.
Yes.
So University of Regina for me, and there was a geology prof, and he was keen.
Oh wow.
And he said, as soon as someone sees that you can hit a little bit, it's like, come, we play at lunch hour. You need to come and play. So
Nice.
and actually, we were fortunate in Saskatchewan at the time. There were circuits in the cities around Saskatchewan. So
Yeah.
we just started playing those tournaments. They had a lot of fun.
That's nice. Actually, I know you actually also competed like masters, and you won like masters singles in like 2015
Yeah, I've won
and 2008 as well.
nationals twice,
Yeah.
and I've competed for probably over 25 years in the masters category. So each year, masters in Canada, it's an open tournament. It's not
Yes.
just Canadians, and that's held in different cities around Canada each year. So wonderful time, and it truly is a national and international. We have a lot of people from the States, from Peru, from Europe. So
Yeah.
it's an international tournament. So.
Like, I think this is the one thing. Masters has like a very different skill of play compared to like open. I notice it's more of like you have this longer, more smart play, I would say. Like as I said, like I usually go watch up a lot of Masters game in Vancouver. Like it's a very different game.
What
Yes,
experience.
they know where to hit the bird.
Yeah.
They know what to do with it for the most part. I
Yeah.
think the game slows down a little bit.
Yeah.
When we play the younger players, it's the fitness and the power and the agility. I mean, as you get older, that just decreases. But you don't necessarily lose the thought process of where you want to put the bird.
Exactly. I think that compensates the power versus the experience, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Or maturity on the shorts.
Yeah. I think that's the thing, like because when we were young we just go for power more. This is the one experience I had was when I was starting up and playing hard. I was playing like masters players and they just let me smash and I didn't get it. And they're just all day just lifting back to me and I'm like I cannot win them by power.
So
I'm like, yeah, It's a different ball game, man. It's complete different. Open to a master circuit.
And it depends on the person too. Most of the time, if they're like very good, they don't even give you chance to make them move. They're
Yeah.
gonna make you move, and then you're just hooked.
Yeah, what am
That's
I
the,
saying?
the beauty of badminton, though, in a way,
Yeah.
where there's not many sports. Well, you have a junior, a 12-year-old can play with a 50-year-old.
Exactly.
Girls with guys, and like it's
They can
such a
shuffle
great
them.
thing for our society.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that is the biggest reason I love badminton. It's very fast paced and it makes you want to think, move faster,
Yeah.
and it's quick. It's like, as you said in the doubles when you watched it, it's like quick. The minute you see there, it's like the second it's back.
You know that Indian guy world record for smashing.
Oh, the Ranki Reddy.
Yeah, for over 550 kilometers an hour speed smash.
Crazy.
I don't think any other sport has that, man.
That's the fastest. One of the fastest sport.
It is
Yeah.
the fastest Downton.
Yeah.
Still until now.
Still, yeah. Don't think any racket sport can beat the badminton speed of the shuttle for now, at least. That's the thing. But yeah, that's the reason why I like this sport compared to like me. I tried like different sports, like for example tennis, squash.
Mm-hmm.
Like out of all, like I preferred like having to play badminton. It's more of, for me personally, it's like it gives that adrenaline rush when I'm on the
Have
court.
you seen the video? Like there was a guy who was saying like, based on studies, racket sport people lives more than
Oh, yeah.
other normal people.
Exactly. Man, we're in the right spot, so we're gonna live until like what, 80 years now? 90?
So we just need to get better in badminton. That's all.
That's all that matters.
We knew a Masters player in
Yeah.
Kelowna.
Yeah.
and He played till he was 96.
Yes, I know him.
And so that's Henry Painter Sr. And so we know Henry Painter Jr. He's a little closer.
And
to
he
our
was
age.
playing at that time.
He'd serve, and if you hit the bird to him, he'd still drop shot. You know, he'd play his corner,
Uh-huh.
right?
Oh yeah.
And Henry Jr. would run around him. But, you know, just to see him through the years, even through his 80s and early 90s, to see him have rallies and hit around and come and hit with kids too.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Don't see that very often.
I think you probably know Suhar.
Yes.
Yeah, she still competes out. She travels and competes.
She's BC.
I've played her many times.
Yeah, and she's very like smart player. Like I learned a lot from her in general. Like I just go up to her and I'm like how do you manage like? And and this is the best thing about badminton community. Everyone's so open. Like if you go up to them and talk to them, they'll just tell you everything you want to know.
And Suhar plays with Henry, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Mixed in international tournaments.
I think-
She's a wonderful mixed player. She's so
Yes.
smart, and she's a tiger.
Oh
She
yes.
doesn't give up. She's about 4'8".
Really?
Yeah, that is.
Small lady, but she is a dynamo.
Trust me, she's mean. Like if she gets a shot, doesn't matter who it is, she'll just kill it.
From Kelowna?
No, she's from
Vancouver, yeah.
Vancouver Rockets Club.
Yeah, that's the nice one. But no, but no. What about your recent club activities? Are you like planning for like? I know you didn't do the summer, right?
I did the summer camps.
Yeah, yeah.
I did in Airdrie and Cochrane, and my next season starting January. I'm doing January till like the winter season in Airdrie and then the Cochrane.
How do you manage this, man? Like these many clubs, these many places.
I just don't know what to do when I don't have things on. So,
Dude,
on my day off, I try to look for things to do, and then me and Terry decide to go and play.
Man, I think your wife is really supportive of you.
Yeah.
I bet, yeah. Definitely, we need all that family support we can get to do these things.
It's good because like they don't have kids yet.
Yeah.
So it's the time to.
Hey, you're still young. Don't.
We brought our kids. Like when I would go and play, my kids were courtside.
Yeah.
And then when they were playing and they were on court, I would come over and play on court here, let them be coached.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, we're lucky to be around people that are willing to share
Yeah.
and have those coaches. We had it too in Kelowna.
Yes. I think, yeah, the community-wise badminton community is really nice. I think even when you were to bring in kids and whatnot, everyone's open to play. Like for example, if you bring in kids and they'll be like, oh, it's okay, we'll just rally with him. And then he'll learn and he'll get the hang of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's competing in Pan Am, right? Your son right now?
He competed in the Worlds.
Worlds, yeah.
actually, yeah, and he did compete in Pan Am's
Pan
too.
Am's, yeah.
And now he's a coach. He does what Rishav does, but he's head coach in Kelowna.
Yeah.
So there's a great circle in
Yeah.
our sport, and I think when we get that chance, even when we're at the clubs here in Calgary,
Yeah.
we get the chance to play younger players. And
Yes.
we give back. And we give them the games that someone else gave us.
Exactly.
So it's a neat circle.
But Rishabh, like, when did you come here to Canada?
Canada 2016. I moved to Fort St. John, BC,
For St. John, BC.
straight from India. And
Yeah.
then it's a small town, like 3,000 people.
Yeah, yeah.
Like completely oilfield town. There was no bounce. There was a one rec club, like they were playing every Wednesday, Sunday night, and then yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
How was the training back in India though?
It was full time. And I started training I think when I was 12,
Yeah.
and then before school 2 hours 5 to 7, and then after school 5 to 7:30 8, and then I went to university. I was doing the same like before the classes and the evening,
After.
and then on weekends sometimes we did 3 sessions,
Hmm.
morning, afternoon, evening, and the summer camp was 3 sessions back to back. Like we go. Come back, eat breakfast, go again, take rest, and then go do afternoon session. Come back, eat lunch, then go in the evening do the third session. Yeah, I heard like in some of the clubs in India, they were doing like the actual hostels where they
Yeah, yes.
they were doing one session after the dinner. That was not like a like intense session. It was just on the spot, some net shots, or
Yeah.
some drills, and some talks about badminton. I was like, that's yeah. So it was very good, and then I moved from 6 hours of badminton a day to 4 hours of badminton a week. When I moved.
After you moved here,
After I moved, so it was a big drastic change.
I think now I know why you want to start your class.
Yeah, so that's why this is the only way I can keep my 6 hours of badminton, or that many hours of badminton a week.
Yeah.
By coaching.
That's the thing. I think it's not. This is the thing. Like, and if you go to Asia, like badminton players or badminton is very big. Like if I go to I think India was not until I think the last, who was it, Saina Nehwal, and
Yeah.
after that era. Before that, it wasn't that much badminton as well. But after Saina Nehwal and like PV Sindhu and Srikanth, these guys really took the badminton in India to the next level.
Yeah. Last 10 years, 10 for 12
Yeah.
years, yeah.
But if it comes to like North America, I feel like it's still
Growing.
like growing slowly and steadily. Yeah, that is the one that. But yeah, in Asian countries, yeah, badminton is like very big, like compared to
Yeah.
like moving here. But it's nice now. We are having some players like what's his name, Brian Young and Michelle Lee. Like, man, like when I watched a Brian Young play that once, I was like I want to watch this game. I want Canada to win so badly. Like I want the sport in Canada to be like well recognized and be like, yeah, it's need to grow.
Mhm.
It's exploding in Calgary. If you look at our 6 clubs,
Yeah.
when we try to find courts to play here,
Yes.
it's very hard. If you don't book well in advance, it's tough to find courts. And those warehouse courses, those are 12 courts each plus.
Yes.
So, and each one of those clubs has 8 or 10 coaches, so it's exploding.
Yes.
Really,
I-
it's growing very quickly here.
That's the thing for it.
And even I heard the tournaments, they are just, as soon as the registrations are open, like in 5 hours. But so we have good community.
Yeah.
Good-
I feel like in the Alberta series and all of them as well, like even like BC tournaments, they're like all capped up now because of we cannot like have that many people in an auditorium.
Yeah.
So they're capping up to like 120, 150 players, 60 players.
And there's junior A and junior
Yeah.
B, so they're starting that development path. If you look at Europe, they have 5 levels. You
Europe?
just work your way through those 5 levels, right?
Yeah.
It's same as our hockey here.
Yeah.
There's many levels of hockey you can play, but it's coming here.
Nice.
Right? Even you look at what Badminton Alberta's doing, they have coaching in rec centers and schools all around Alberta.
Yeah.
And that kind of feeds that junior B circuit, and the B feeds the junior A circuit.
I think for junior training for Alberta is really comparatively so high. Like in junior circuit side in Alberta, it's really good. I see like kids like even if you look at like all these warehouse clubs, the coaches, they're going very intense training on it.
Yeah.
Like that was like pretty good. But no, like when you started like in Saskatchewan compared to then versus now the did the sport grow a lot bigger?
Very different. It was basically just a high school sport, like a seasonal, maybe March, April, May, and that was it. That's all you'd see badminton. It wasn't year round. I mean,
Yeah.
Saskatchewan, there was maybe a club in Saskatoon and
Yeah.
one in Regina, and that was about it. But now there's programs all over.
Nice. Yeah, but no. What? Okay, this is the curiosity question. Why you chose only badminton? Like, have you tried any other sports and then you just decided to, like, you know what? I don't want any other sport. I am happy with badminton, or you just got into badminton and this is my sport.
Well, I'm a phys ed teacher, so I played 50 years of hockey.
Wow.
So I played hockey, I played flag football, I played baseball, I golf. I mean, I love all the sports, but
Yeah.
but I would say that badminton rises up because of what it gives us. You know, it's the social factor, it's the
Yes.
physical fitness.
Yes.
I think it's how we're tested mentally
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
our games, whether that's singles or doubles. You have to think and you have to be agile, and flexibility is part of that, power is part of that. So when we run or when we do weights, it's all complementary to what we do on the court.
Exactly.
Yeah, like and we don't have much time to make decisions. We are the fastest one to make the decision.
Yes.
The next shot is totally dependent on your just now's decision, right?
So listen, guys, switch to badminton. Not just saying that. But I think, yeah, the sport itself is really nice. Even with training compared to, like, I think I know some of my friends who did training in Asia and then got here, and then they also did Europe training. Like when I was in Vancouver, like it's a very different training systems they have. Like as you said, they have different circuits to compete in Europe, and the training also, I think they're kind of put it this way. So when they say it, quantity and the quality they go for. Like when they say like they went for trainer training, there's like a lot of feeding, like a lot of shuttle time. Compared to in Europe, you get a couple sessions of intense training
Yeah.
and rests. So you get a lot of these rests, but more of like if you go to like even in India, like if you go like a lot of different sessions, like we have continuous sessions
Yeah.
like that. And compared to like when you go to Europe or anywhere, they're like more of, okay, 20 minutes or on court, train. Let's take 15 to 20 minutes off.
Yeah.
Get back on it again, and then do it again.
And same in India, we were doing every morning there was no badminton. We were not touching the racket at
Yeah.
all. It was just all fitness in the mornings.
Oh, nice.
And the rule was if we miss the morning session, we're not allowed to play in the evening. So if I want to play badminton in the evening, I have to come do the physical
morning
one in the
physical.
morning. So that's why like it was hard. And then everybody wanted to play, right? So they
Yeah.
had to go to the morning physical session, and it was just very intense. Like I remember my coach, we were doing like an hour and a half running, and he will be coming in his scooter or in a car. Whoever's
Scooter,
done,
yeah, man.
you're done, right? You don't,
Yeah.
you're not coming back in the evening. So it was pretty strict.
Uh,
I think the difference is that intensity
Yeah.
that you would find in other countries, because this is kind of maybe their national sport,
yes.
and I think how they support their athletes.
Mhm.
So in Canada, so you're going to school from 8 to 4, so your
Yeah.
badminton maybe is before and after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not brought along as a full-time athlete at a young age,
Yeah.
like you would be in other countries. So I think they have the infrastructure to support their athletes. And when our athletes get to be a good, like if you're a 14, 16-year-old athlete in Canada, does the national organization come along and bring you and help you develop?
It's a
Not
very-
very much.
yeah.
Now, the other side of that coin is when our kids go and train internationally,
Yes.
you know what they find?
Yeah.
They do the same drills we do.
Yeah.
It's still drop net lift. It's still smash defense. It's the same. So some people think they're going to go and train in Malaysia or China, and they're going to receive this magic and come back to be a world-class player. You know what? It's the same.
Yeah.
Now they might have more technical instruction, and more
Yes.
coaches come along and support their athletes better than we do. but
Yes.
It's the same drill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think as these warehouse clubs bring those coaches in,
Yes.
I think the private clubs like the Winter Club here in the Glencoe, they have pros, and
Yes.
the training is like that there.
Yes.
But the other clubs are now and have, I think, caught up in terms of bringing other coaches
Other
in to
coaches.
help our athletes develop.
Yes.
But same drills.
Yes. I think that is the one thing that I agree. I think someone told me when I was studying. It's all about repetition. Like at some point, it's all about like how accurate your percentage of hitting a shot goes. rather than trying something new versus a safe play. You will know once you're competing against like a stronger players, like you probably go for a safer shots versus a riskier shots. So it's all about how often you practice that shot.
Yeah.
So it's not more so of like variations or changing it up.
That's the difference between a good player and a great player.
Yeah.
You know, are you making that cross-court net shot or that nice net shot? Are you making that 6 out of times?
Yeah.
Or are you making it 9.5 out of 10?
Yes.
Can you do that every time you come to the net? It's a quality net shot.
Yes.
So I agree with you.
Yeah.
That repetition with quality
Yes.
and proper form is really important.
Very, yeah. So Rishav, like how was the first time when you did the tournament? This is what I want to know. How was your first experience in playing a tournament?
In India, I played first tournament, like Para-Badminton tournament. It was
Yeah,
in 2000. Only 1 year since I started the badminton.
Yeah.
So it was in South India, which is Bangalore.
Oh yeah.
So I traveled all the way from north to south and played that tournament. And then I won my junior title in the nationals. So at that time we didn't have like many para players in India, so it was less competitive. And now it's just last year nationals they had more than 700 participants just in para-badminton. 700 participants just in para-badminton. That's why in most tournaments in India they don't have the league style. It's knockout. Doesn't matter. You play, you lose, you out. So it's just knockout. Otherwise they're just gonna be there for a month. So it was good. And then at the same tournament I was playing until Saturday or something in Bangalore, and the next week we were doing a school state level tournament in Chandigarh. So I had to fly from Bangalore overnight to Chandigarh to make it. My school was already there, so I was like 14 that time I think, and I traveled by myself took flight from Bangalore and went to Delhi. Delhi I took another bus, went from Delhi in the nights was scary.
Oh, dude,
and I was like by myself.
I'm like 14-year-old.
And my phone about to die. I was asking my bus driver, I said, "Do you have a charger for this phone? I want to tell my parents I hate Delhi." And then I made it to Delhi, switched to the bus, and then took the early morning bus. 5 a.m. I was in Chandigarh, and then I played 9:30. I was playing again another tournament, and it was good. I already came back, winning a national title in para. Okay, I said, I'll do it. That was so. My life has always been like this, go. I was especially even in India. I was one day I'm playing in south part of the country. Traveling over the night to make it possible to travel the next morning. So, and then it never stopped after that.
Were you scared at all when you first started the tournament, the first game? You have that feeling of, man, how's it gonna be?
Oh yeah, I didn't have any experience in playing tournaments, and it was in South, so there was no coach from my side. It was just I had to make my own decision, and I had to convince my own self. And 14 years old, just me thinking there, sitting by myself, what should I do? It's just helped me making me stronger, thinking stronger, and just and realizing I just need me to be active and not really need anybody at the time to tell if I can control my emotions and strategies. No, anybody else can tell me what to do, but in the end, I'm the one who have to do it.
Executing it.
What is this control your emotions thing? What is that?
How has a 14-year-old figured it out about controlling it?
Controlling emotions. I know I'm getting smashed back to back. Hey, Dad, what do I do against this kid?
But it's interesting, in today's game, you see those coaches are talking to their players constantly.
Yes.
And do you become the athlete that can figure it out for themselves? How do I need to change what I'm doing to win the game? It was interesting, in BC, they actually stopped allowing coaches to come coach between games, like at 11, for example.
Oh
You
yeah.
could coach once between the second and third. And I just thought, why? I know we want kids to think for themselves,
but
I get that.
It's
but
part of
on the other
BWF
hand,
rules.
I agree, and I just think, do we not want to help kids learn? There's teachable moments that come along in most games. You've smashed straight 6 times in a row, maybe you should cut one
Cut,
of those,
yeah.
or maybe play a net shot. And by not letting coaches or parents talk to their, because not everybody has a coach, right? If you're from a small town, coming to the city, coming to the game,
yeah.
you don't have a coach.
Yeah.
And that can be really intimidating too. So I just think we should let people teach. I don't know how you find the balance between developing the ability to think on your own and too much coaching.
And it's
Yes.
totally
There's
like
probably a line somewhere.
exactly, and it is. I like highly recommend having a coach and stuff. It's just at the same time, like it is changed now too. Like it depends on the personality too, right? There's
Yeah.
some strong players, but very like less self-control
Yeah.
and ability to control
Control
themselves.
it, but there
And
are
but there are
others.
some
players,
kids
yeah.
and some players they're good enough. They can make their own decisions.
But what do you think about the balance of that? Like as a coach perspective of yours, do you think having that once only in between is it not?
It changed the things. It can change the things, and it does change the things.
Yeah.
So it is like those 30 seconds, 1 minute discussion, or because all the coach's responsibility is to sit down and figure out what's the weakest point he's not looking at, and I can look, and then
Yeah.
I can tell him to quickly go, hey, just stay away from the net. Try to go back. Try to bring your body back quickly. You're not coming back, or you're not recovering fast. So those kind of things, players playing in the stress moment, he can't really think of sometimes. But the coach's job is to
Remind.
use those time for 30 seconds, make it short and brief. Just tell the kid, hey, you're doing this, and just get better in that. So that is important to have. That's why, like, I think in badminton, like all over the world, like we have the rule after 11 points, coach goes and talk to the athlete.
Yeah.
And whether you have the piece of paper that says you're a coach or not, some provincial organizations are pretty sticky. No,
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
have level whatever, you can't go on and coach. I'm thinking, oh, come on. You know, there's lots of people who know enough about the game that can
Game.
go on and help.
Yeah.
help.
It's just
Yeah.
level certifications.
Certificate. I think that is the one thing that I find it odd when I went to a recent, like one of the tournaments that I've been to. There's this one kid, like I know her personally, like I was gonna like just talk, but they were like, you have to be certified. Are you certified? I'm like, I know the game. I'm sorry, yeah, but I think I get the fact of like you want to have a certified coach as it, but at the same time, what are you defining as a coach? Like it's right, a person to like give you feedback on a game doesn't have to be a coach. Like you could be a greatest fan and you know better than sometimes a coach because you watch way more gameplays.
Like, do we want coaches to have the ability and opportunity to receive training to become a better coach? Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. Have
Yeah.
the programs.
Yes.
And give people that opportunity, but don't neglect all of the teachable moments in sport, the other 99%
Yeah.
that could go on to help kids just because you want the whole certification
Certifications
thing.
and stuff.
That,
Yeah.
That'll offend some people, but
I mean, it's a hard truth sometimes, right? Like I know, like we want to have certified coach, but that's like if you want to train kids, but on a court when you're coming on a game, it's a very different story. So you might be at a disadvantage because there's a certified coach training versus a regular person giving a feedback. Why you have to worry about it, right? But at the same time, you want to regulate then
we
people
encountered
to
that
invest in, yeah.
consistently. We would travel to Vancouver.
Yeah.
I'd take my kids down there, and it's the pros. It's these two pros from Indonesia come on and coach that child.
Yeah.
And then my son stands in the middle of the court and just sort of looks around, you know, what's going on here? And that's very intimidating.
Yeah,
And that's,
exactly.
we should remove that
Yeah.
intimidation out of the game and move towards helping.
Yes. I think as a kids, right, this is the one thing I noticed when I was playing up or anything, when I see a coach, I'm like, either you get one personality from it where, like, okay, I'll kind of play him even if he has a coach, or you'll be like, oh no, he has a coach and he's already telling my negatives and maybe now I have to do something different.
Yeah.
Even if you're on a winning stage, it's a psychological affects the kid. When you're older, yes, you'll figure it out. It's okay. But when you're like at young age, like 14, 15, 16,
We need guidance.
you'll feel like, oh no, something's gonna change now, of this placebo effect basically. Or sometimes one shots work after that, and that's it.
Yeah.
So but I think there's the one thing I learned, I think you probably know, the one of the Vancouver coach, he suggested one thing: if you ever want to help someone and if you can't go on the court, make sure before he gets on the court, have some signals.
Yeah.
So if this means go clear,
Oh my
if
goodness.
this is go back, oh my! I was like, I don't think that'll work in the last
We
second.
encountered it for years in Vancouver because it's an Asian community. And so we go down there.
Yeah.
And we knew the coach was sitting at the end of the coach, and they weren't allowed to coach.
Mm-hmm.
during
Oh
the
yeah,
game,
yeah.
But they would speak Chinese, right? Did we know what they were saying? No.
Oh man.
Was the talk happening? Constantly.
Every point.
So it's like,
What
you
should I
know,
say?
and so, but you don't want me walking on the court, talk to my kid at 11 or after the first game.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, I think BWF has it right.
Yeah.
You know, that banter. International, do you think Axelson's coach is telling him anything different? Has he not heard that advice?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not.
I mean, I don't know what the pros are telling their players, but maybe minute details.
Yeah.
I think it's more of reminding them. Sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment, this is one thing, you forget.
Yeah.
Like for example, you'll be like, you'll just get caught up. Mainly some games when you play in tournaments, you get caught up in those situations where you're like stuck. I'm like, and then the coach reminds you like, calm down,
Yeah.
play the clear. And I was like, okay, wait. Now my sense is back in.
Yeah.
Or else you'll be in that zone of.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then once you get out of the zone, I was like, oh wait, now I can think better. Now let's get back into it.
I agree. I was playing Sarosh, one of our good
Oh,
friends,
yeah.
at national championship, and I'm nervous. And I'm thinking my coach from Victoria was there, and thought he was going to come and give me some really wise nugget of
Magic trick. Yeah.
And I said, I'm really nervous. He says, just hit hard. The first 5, hit hard. And I didn't, I was looking for this keen tip.
Yeah.
And so just while you're nervous, you need to get that body rid of that
Yes.
energy
Yeah.
so that you can just flow into the game.
Yeah.
Just hit hard. That's what So I'm thinking, I've trained with you for 2 years and you've taught
And
me
then
all this
just-
technical stuff.
And here you're telling just hit hard.
Just hit the first 5.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes. Hey, sometimes those are the simple things we forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they reminded you, I'm like, it's like a bulb glows up. I'm like, oh yes, I should hit hard. And after the first rally, you'll be like, yeah.
Well, that technical advice is where we were training at Gauss Club in
Yeah.
the summer, and Grace would come on, and it's not that we can't do the skill, it's that, you just turn your wrist this way a little bit on that net shot, and all of a sudden you turn and you do this, it's like,
It's better.
all of a sudden it's a good net shot, and it's like 7 or 8 out of 10 right away, and it's just that little technical
Change.
just do this.
And that definitely feels so good after realizing it. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been like, I think even in the like international games, this is the one thing they just keep yelling when they're like even for Victor Axons. I think this is the one. I think they're trying to ban it, or I don't know if they banned it. Every point, the players always look for the coach. They'll just turn around and like, I'm doing this.
Yeah, like we were talking, I think there's a line somewhere. I don't think an athlete should turn.
Every single point and like look at their coach like,
So-
oh,
so
is that
as
correct?
a coach, I would counsel away from that.
Yeah.
It's also, I think it's part of a trick to distract your opponent, right?
Yeah.
It's just also to break their momentum, just bring that thing to the game. It's just not like, yeah, it doesn't look good, but I think it's just part of the strategies.
That's the. But no, what's the difference? Like I know you did the like national level coaching, but you did the international level.
Yes.
Like, is there any difference, or is it that similar, but they're trying to teach you the rules or
No,
something?
it's like it was like a full 5 days program and 8 to 5. So like 8 hours. We're just learning badminton, talking badminton, talking about different. So it was a half and half. Like each day we spent 4 hours in the office, like in the classroom, and doing the study part of
Yeah.
like psychology and some strategies and some even those things that we talked about. Like you have your 30 seconds to talk to the players.
Yes.
You're gonna end up like doing open-end questions or the close-end questions. You
Mhm.
have only 30-40 seconds. So talking about those small things, and in the evening, like after the classroom, we go to the training center and
Yeah.
have a little group. You have to. They were assigning us like different kind of, okay, today you're working on the backhand defenses and yours is the net blocks. You
Yeah.
have to come up with a program or plan to do that in like 1 hour session just for that. So yeah, it was very good and different, and like especially getting trained from the pros from the
Yes.
world, right? So
Yeah.
like they're fully trained people, and then yeah, China is a good place to learn the badminton.
So do they give you should tell the athlete about shot selection, or is it motivational? Come on.
It
let's
depends on
go,
the
or is it-
situation.
Okay.
It depends on the situation and athlete. So it's if it's a mature athlete and you know how he's doing, so it totally depends how
Yeah.
how. Sometimes if like if you know he not like you can tell if I'm playing against the world number 2, I know I'm not gonna win. But it's just those kind of things you have to tell them. You know you're not gonna win, but if you don't play, you already lost. But if you play, do you better, just play your shots. Still gonna lose, but you're gonna feel way better. And why don't just play best and lose than rather than just giving up? So.
That is a good advice to give on
Yeah.
a court. Yeah.
A national coach came on and he was talking to my son
Yeah.
in the middle of a very competitive match at nationals. And
Yeah.
He's saying, well, badminton's like climbing a mountain. I'm thinking, what? What?
Out of nowhere.
Give that kid some advice.
Yeah.
Smash harder. or like give him something and not some.
Climbing
Philosophy.
philosophy in the
Now
middle.
you're going to talk about badminton? Like what the hell is that?
Oh
so
my God.
Yeah.
there's different theories on
Oh my
what
God.
you give those athletes in terms of advice when you come on the court.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was sometimes like, hey, what's he doing after the badminton?
I think that's for a tense person. I think as you're saying, like it's based on the person.
Yeah, totally.
Like if the person is so heated up and you want to heat it up and you want to smoke him up, and you'll be like, hey, so what's happening after? And then he's like, he'll gonna lose off that 10 or whatever the.
And Ram, a national coach,
Oh,
he would
yes,
come
yes.
on and he would give you open-ended. He's not giving you anything. So what do you think you need to do? What do you think's working for you right now?
Yeah.
And he would
Yeah.
make the athlete think that was his philosophy. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just feed you, okay, you gotta hit that net cross,
Yeah.
you gotta push him to the
Yeah.
back, you gotta play to the front more. He would make the athlete try to figure it out. So
Yeah.
and but another coach from Victoria, he'd come on and say, look, you've hit 3 net shots. Like
Yeah.
you've got to bring them, and he would give tactical rather than this. And then I've seen other coaches say, you got to get going here. Like you got to pick it up.
Yeah.
You're at half speed right now. Like let's go. And he's trying to fire the athlete up. Let's go here.
Yeah.
So lots of different
Yeah,
philosophies
Yes.
on what you give a player.
I think Ram's. I like the Ram's style of coaching. I think there's a one time when we were playing the Vancouver, I was playing with his student, and he just came on the court. I was like, he was just giving me suggestions on, okay, so everything's working for you. So she's gonna go in, and then she does this shot. So what's your aim is you do your shot. What is that? It's like you figure it out. I'm like, you know what you're doing. It's working. I'm telling you, it's working. So do what you're doing. And then he's telling her, I was like, you do this shot. And then I was like, okay, if it's
I
working.
think what Rishav said, it depends on the athlete you're
Yeah.
working with. There's a time to give them advice. Like if I've just lost and I got 12 points, I have no idea what I need to do.
Exactly.
And you're
Yeah.
asking me what should I do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like give me a nugget.
Yeah.
Give me something to think to try
Do it.
differently.
And it depends. Yeah, sorry.
So it just depends.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. Because it depends. For example, if I have my own athlete, like I've been coaching him for 2 years,
Yeah.
I know the whole backstage stories and know all the tricks how to cool him down and what to talk about. And here, if I'm like I have somebody who like, been only a week before the tournament, and I'm coaching him, so the talk's gonna be different with
Different,
him,
yeah.
and things will be different.
And there's emotional advice. My kid was a hothead.
Yeah.
And most of the time it was everything I can do to just bring him down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you lose your mind, if you're up here level 10, anger wise, and if you've got to be down at the 7 or 8, right? You go over, as soon as you go over, you may as well leave the court, right?
Yeah.
Because you've lost
Yes.
your cool and now you can't do anything.
Panicking and
now you lose 5 points in a row because you lost this point.
Yeah.
So I think some coaches have that responsibility to come and say, hey, it's going to be okay.
Yes.
You're doing this and this really well, so keep doing that.
Yeah.
So I think that's I think a good coach can counsel emotionally as well.
Okay, coming. So, what advice did you get on the court when you're a player, not as a coach?
Going back to Ram, he's like super good, and like told one thing his like he told me, and it changed the whole scene for me. It was like, you have nothing to lose. Like,
Yeah.
why you are just making and shaking and just hustling bustling for nothing? Like, you have nothing to lose. Just be you. You just be you. Play your game. You know what your strong things is. Just be yourself. And that was changing. Like good thing. That's what I picked, and I tell my kids too. Like, you have nothing to lose. Like, you're gonna lose. You're gonna go home. You're gonna train, come back. Might as well just play and just do your best. This is not the last tournament of your life or the last 1 hour of your life.
That's a very good advice, I would say.
Yeah.
Buddy, I would just say it's about trust.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, you've trained hard. Like, this was a pre-match.
Yeah.
I said, well, how do you get the confidence? I played this person, I've lost 3 times.
Yes.
How do you get that and that ability to rise up? And he says, you have to trust your shots.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes.
can't become tentative now.
Yes.
You know, if you're going to hit it hard, hit hard. If you're going to slice, make that shot the best you can, and
Yeah.
trust what you bring to the table.
Exactly. Yeah.
And go out there and give it your best shot, even though you haven't had good results before.
No.
Sports psychologist
Yeah.
Terry Orlick would say you have to think about what you want to do in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
not about what you don't want to have happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I can't miss this serve. I can't hit it out.
And then, of course,
That's in your house, and the bird's in the net.
Yeah.
It's out the side. You think about what he would suggest.
Yeah.
What do you want to do right now?
Yeah.
Hit it in, over and in.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, slice hard, smash it. Keep the bird deep. Make a quality net shot. First shot over and in. It's like, we should tell her Wednesday night to eat that. First shot's got to be in, or you're doing 10 push-ups, buddy.
Oh, I think I think we should do that. I think I had that before. It was really mainly when we were training, like back home. Like, it's, yeah, you miss one shot or you hit, like serve returns is the one basically. The first shot is serve return. If you hit the serve return net or out, you're 10 push-ups, and then every shot I miss after 5, 5, 5, 5, and then you push up
We do
until
a lot of 3-shot.
Yeah,
The
3
drill
shots.
is 3-shot.
Yes.
Those first 3 shots have to be quality. They have to be in and stop the rally.
Yes.
3 shots, because we're all pretty similar.
Yes.
You know,
Mhm.
once we're in that rally, but we're not similar in the first 3 shots. That's the big difference.
I think that is one first lesson that I learned in Canada from one of the coaches in Vancouver is you can only control 3 shots. The first 3 shots is what you could set up the whole game. So you serve, where you're serving, and what are you expecting, and where you're gonna be, and where your partner's supposed to be, and what are the options you got.
Yeah.
And that's the second shot returning, and the third shot finish. That's typical game style. Those are the 3 only you can control. And after you hit the third shot, if they take it, now you're playing according to the game.
Yeah.
So that was a very valuable advice I learned, like when I'm training for that. So it was really amazing, I would say. So what advice you got when you started playing, in a coaching side of it?
I think it was really around learning a variety of skills, because
Okay.
I come from a small town, low skill. You know, we thought we were playing, and even
Yeah.
I look back in the city championships. I mean, that was nowhere near even competitive badminton. It's like the majority of our high school badminton
Yeah.
Yes.
around small town,
Yes.
right? But as soon as you get with a professional coach and they can show you the skill of holding the racket and what shots to play. So I guess if I was going to give advice, I'd say you need to go take some lessons.
Yes.
If I want to be a better golfer, I should be with a pro, so that everything I do after that, I'm using that level of skill.
Skill,
And
yes.
so I'd say get into group training, get somewhere with a coach, so that you develop some skill. The more skill you have,
Yes.
the more you're going to enjoy it, the longer you'll stay in the game.
I think that is the one. I before, when I was young, I used to be kind of against coaching it. I'm like, what am I gonna learn from it? There's nothing I'm gonna learn from it. I'll watch YouTube videos. I'll watch this. I'll watch that and learn from. But then, as you said, when the Grace taught you that simple change, So when I got my first coaching, that's what I changed, because when I was very young, that's when one of my cousins played badminton, so that's how I got into it. The only thing that I did for the first 3 months or so, just holding the racket and then just doing the drill. That's it. I'm not even touching the shuttle, whatever, and just hold racket properly. Like, yeah, I felt so bored of it, but then that's probably why I hated the coaching. And then, but after I get the coaching, and it was like, the simple changes makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
I'd have a lesson twice a week, even now, later
Yes.
in my career. I'd go. The time we spent with Grace was awesome this
Mhm.
summer.
Yes.
And even when we get a chance to work with other coaches around the province, those are
Yes.
well spent hours.
Okay, so what is your motivation for you on the court? If you're playing on a court, if I were to be your coach, what do you think what do you think I should tell you to get you pumped up in a game?
To beat Rishav.
Hey, that's the thing.
Start with that.
We're gonna do that. So
I'm a competitive guy, so my motivation and my goal every year is to win national championship.
Nice.
In my age group.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people my age, and they're not healthy people. Right, so this
Great.
sport helps me keep moving, and
Yes.
I have a lot of fun socially. Those are a lot of my friends around
Yeah.
Canada. But I think we have the opportunity to be healthy playing this sport.
Exactly.
And there's something here for everybody. If you're a beginner, you can go and hit around and have fun and have an exercise,
Yes.
all the way up to a national and international athlete.
Yes.
So that's my motivation and the challenge. It's why I do weights. It's why I run,
Yeah.
so I can be fit enough and healthy enough to compete at a high level
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's I think,
and to beat Rishav
and beat Rishav.
one day. Probably not,
Hey, you never know.
but I keep trying.
One of those days. Keep trying until.
Keep trying.
Yeah.
Now I'm nervous. We're gonna play.
He gets you now. Say it's a psychological game. That's a psychological game. No, I think this is the one sport you're physically have to be fit, plus mentally has to be in a good state. Like if you will have one of those off days, and that's it. Like your game's gonna go downhill. Like if you're physically fit and you're like on a court, and if you're mentally like not there, yeah, this game will definitely give you the
And
results
the thing
of
is,
it.
like, it needs your full body. You can be a very fast guy, but very less flexible. It's not
Oh.
gonna work for badminton. You can be a very strong leg press guy, super strong legs. Your upper body is not in a good shape. You can't do anything. If same other way around, like if you're good upper body, your legs are weak. No.
No.
So it's
You
just
need to have
every
that
single
balance.
bit: flexibility, speed, strength, brain, everything.
I think that is a great thing. Well, coaching side, that's the best.
Yeah.
Having to have physical. Before, I think never really focused on physical side of things for badminton because of, I don't know, we just always thought playing was more fun.
Mm-hmm.
So physical was like, nah, who's gonna do all those weights? And no, I don't want to do it. But then it made a very, very huge difference for me. Like mainly like legs. I think there's only whenever I do workouts, one of my buddies recommended for badminton, these are the basic workouts you do, like squats, deadlifts, and these two are the biggest for you. For legs, you do the squats, and then deadlifts for your back and everything.
Yeah.
Those, like, you can get away with it. Like, you could work on it, but there are more workouts where you do for your arms and shoulders and all these workouts. And you know what the biggest thing that most players, maybe none of us actually did? Stretching.
Yeah. Cool down.
Man, I don't think before when I play, I don't stretch.
Yeah.
It's a bad habit.
It's the most underrated
Yes.
part of our
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah.
And especially as you get older, I would say.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you want to be healthy and you want to recover. I played yesterday. If I want to play today,
Yes.
I have to stretch.
Yeah.
So I spent about 40 minutes this morning, massage gun, stretch,
Yes.
so that I can come and play.
Play again.
Otherwise, if you're injured, then you're 6 weeks
Yeah.
behind. So you can put a little bit of discipline
Yeah.
in here so that you can enjoy
It's more.
Yeah.
later. So,
Yeah.
but I don't think we do enough to help our bodies recover. And I think a lot of people, old school, we're saying, oh no, you got to stretch before you play. Well, we're taught now actually it's an active warm up.
Yeah.
You should not be doing a stretch. Relaxes your muscles,
Yes.
right? you're trying to warm up your muscle. So
Yes.
it should be an active warm up,
Yeah.
and we should actually be stretching, doing the stretch routine afterwards. to
Yeah.
help
Yes.
us
Stretch and
recover.
cool down together.
Yes. I think that is the one I learned it hard way when I was playing a tournament and had a bad cramp. I literally was like on the floor. So you probably know Sushil. Sushil was the one that came in for my rescue, and it's like he started like spraying the thing and stretching me out. And I still continued the game after, but after that I was like, at least I have to do like stretches for legs and back and whatnot. And active like movement stretches is more better.
Yeah.
That is the best before the game. If you're doing after, like a sit back and doing like a
And
stretches is better.
tournaments are mini cycles of that. So
Yeah.
if I play 4 matches in one day, that means it's 4 active warm-ups and 4 stretching
Yeah.
Yeah.
routines. And when you watch kids, any athlete
Yeah.
at tournaments, they go and they just go sit down and have a drink afterwards. And it's like, well, it's no wonder so many people are injured
Jared, yeah.
during competitions, is they don't follow that cycle and they don't give their body a chance to recover.
Yeah, I am definitely part of it.
And the thing is, like in the international level, you see they the tournament, they have the specific designated area
Yeah.
for warm up and cool downs after the match, and that is where the players are going and they're coming back. They're just not going to any change room or anything before
They
they
just go there.
change their stuff. They're just gonna sit down and do the stretching and cool down.
And as coaches, it's like, no,
Yeah,
I want to just sit on the bench. I'm tired
yeah,
after the match.
Yeah.
But from a discipline point of view
Yeah.
and a development point of view, you should be.
yeah.
Back to go. That's
Even in
stretch.
my classes, sometimes they said, "Oh yeah, can we skip warm up today?" Most of the time, yeah, I don't want to run. I don't want to. So I don't do that every time, but sometime like Friday, last session of the year. Okay, let's say we're not gonna do warm up, but we will play dodgeball.
Oh,
So,
okay.
including other sports or
Yeah,
other
yeah,
sport
yeah.
activities, even some like hiding the other games in the court, not just the running. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just something to raise your heart rate.
Heartbeat. And also the movement, like
Yeah,
you're moving, you're
exactly.
not like just sitting.
Yeah, and then
Maybe next podcast we'll talk about the emotional harm that throwing balls at kids' faces have.
I'm playing badminton right after that.
They're scarring them.
It's like, this is how it feels when someone smashes you.
Yeah, get ready.
Get used to it. Get used to it. Yeah,
Okay, my
that was
friend.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, thank
Yeah,
you guys
we have
for
to
giving
play
your
badminton
time.
match today.
Today,
So
yeah.
let's go
Thanks, sir.
and play.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There you go, Smashers. I hope you find something valuable from this video. And if you like this kind of content, go click like and share, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. See you in the next episode.